If you were perfect for me, I'd never tell. And if I'm dreaming of you, you never know. No, no. I'm the one who walks by every day. You're the one, but you never look my way. Too bad for you, you'll never know. You never know, never know. We could be the real deal forever. Oh, I know for me there's no one better, no. And we even look so good together, but you don't know. So I just walk by, and if I could find those words to say.
The Billy Idol song White Wedding created the whole, I guess, terminology for if you were ever smoking something like a cig or a marijuana cigarette, if you shotgun it into another person's mouth just by taking a puff and blowing it into somebody else's mouth, that's called shotgunning, and that came from the song White Wedding. So there's a little fun music fact, and I checked. It's not Billy Idol White Wedding, but rather a rebel yell on KSHE Radio.
Away alone, each day a stepping stone. Your face, I know. Our house is not a home, a place unloved. We left no traces of the day, the sun.
Hey guys, this is Darryn, and we are at one of the longest running rock stations in the country, their studios, KSHE-95. We are with midday DJ Lern, aka Lern.
Yes. You can call me Lauren if you want. Yeah, Lern. Yeah.
Lern, I like that.
Yeah.
So where'd that come from?
I get that all the time. It's a nickname I had in high school. This one of my favorite people I went to school with, his name's Eric Weiss. He one day we were just jacking around, and he said, let's remove all the vowels out of everybody's name and see if it's like a cool word or if it's different, And so Lauren, you take all the vowels out and you're left with LRN. And he's like, it's Lern. And so that literally stuck. When I started at KSHE, Favaz was like, do you have any nicknames? Because I guess it's kind of like a big deal in the radio biz. And I said, well, people call me Lern. And he's like, okay.
So this is where all the magic goes down. KSHE, thank you so much for letting us invade.
No problem. I'm happy to meet you guys. You seem like good people to know. And
I know Tommy, so that made you feel a little more comfortable. He told you I was weird.
Yeah,
but
I emailed Tommy Mattern, the program director of 105.7 The Point, our sister station, and I said, who's this Darryn Yates guy? Is he a weirdo? What's the deal? And he goes, he's a weirdo, but a good weirdo. I was like, all right, I can dig that.
I appreciate it. So tell us how you got into radio.
I actually, whenever I started, I'm from Illinois, so I went to Southwestern Illinois College, SWIC, for a couple of years, kind of do the cheap route to college. And I was actually going in for like journalism and forensic psychology. I've always been like really big on psychology.
Oh, wow. Nice
and
contrast.
Yeah, it's like kind of weird. I was like, I'm going to find serial killers. I'm going to write a paper about them, I transferred to Illinois State, and I just remember whenever I was transferring, their media, their mass communications department really just stuck out to me. And we actually toured the campus one day, my mom, my sister, and I mean, the radio station was so cool. It like looked exactly like my room did in high school and stuff, or at that time, still in college. And I was like, oh my God, they have like Deftones posters and, like Marilyn Manson and all this weird stuff. And so I was like, this is so sweet. And I told my mom, I said, I think I'm going to transfer my major to mass comm and just be a radio DJ. And she's like, oh my God, you're not going to have a livelihood. She's like, you're going to fail. So it was kind of like my mom tried to talk me out of it for, a couple months. But I said, no, I think I'd be really good at this because I love people and I like music and I like talking. So why not?
Good for you. And now you've always been promoting the local scene.
Yeah.
I saw you've released your own web series called Local Produce.
Yeah.
And so tell us how you got into, because right now we talked about before, there's not a whole lot of mediums for bands to get exposed in this area. It's so frustrating.
It's really frustrating.
We're trying to do it. You're doing it.
Yeah. Tell
us
what
about
it
Local
is.
Produce.
It's like you guys, and then this fun idea I had. I don't know about you. My fiance and I, we tape Last Call with Carson Daly whenever it's in season. I think he's running reruns right now. But and I started thinking, I'm like, this is such a great idea because I want to get better at interviewing and I want to kind of expand my resume and also help people in the long run, like help local bands get some KSHE exposure from them and stuff. And because we don't play local music, unfortunately, on our airwaves, it's just so like we just have all of our classic rock bands and we're just so focused that unfortunately we can't have like a local scene show. But we have such a great website and such great traffic on it. And we definitely have people in our audience that want to know about local rock music. Well, how can I get to a happy medium where, my boss will allow it, and the bands will have some exposure and I'll get better at interviewing and whatever. And I said, let's start a web series, So, and I based it off of Last Call with Carson Daly. And we just did the first episode last month with Logos because they have such a great history with KSHE. They're one of the local bands that are younger. Oh my God, they're so good. And we're getting ready to shoot the next episode coming up at the end of August with Fivefold. They're opening up for 10 years at Pop. So the idea was, I also wanted to kind of expose and really celebrate many of the local venues and places that bands play. I think that we have some of the best in the whole nation.
Well, people got to check out your website. Like you said, KSHE website, great site. It's so awesome. I was on there for a long time. So your page actually was at KSHE-95.com/Lern, Lern, and there's your blogs, there's photographs, your local produce stuff.
Yeah.
So KSHE, I mean, the perks here. You've met all kinds of people. Do you have any favorite stories of bands that you've met or
I do.
bands who are jerks or
well, let's see. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Well, okay, so I've worked at KSHE for almost 5 years. So I started in 2008 and I literally had just gotten out of school, was an intern, and I was like, I got to get my foot in the door. I'll work for free, pay me in concerts, and they did. So just being in the marketing department and helping out so much with that and learning, just absorbing everything that they do here at KSHE, I was just so fortunate to, have the duty of going and picking up Jason Bonham or Steve Gorman when they're at the hotels
awesome.
Or, like Joe Perry was the first rock star I met here. And he was standing like right over there. And I'm a huge Aerosmith fan. I mean, oh my God. And, and so Joe Perry was here and I remember Favaz was interviewing him and I'm just like this little blonde girl and I'm like, can I just like bring him a t-shirt and just look at him? And so Favaz is so sweet. He's like, just come in and stand here and you give him a KSHE shirt, which is what we do for a lot of bands that roll through the studios. And Joe Perry, of course, knows his history with KSHE in St. Louis. So like he was in here talking and this is when I had like platinum blonde hair, like really ridiculous, like 80s style. And he and his wife.
Can we stalk your Facebook page and see that?
Yeah, you can see those on the website too, unfortunately.
On the website,
Nothing is ever lost now. I guess the coolest thing for me was meeting Slash last year.
Oh, nice.
He's one of my idols and
And that picture's on your site.
It is.
Yeah.
And I've interviewed him twice on the phone. And so it was like the first interview where I had so many questions just personally for him. And so it made for a really great interview. I mean, usually if you're interviewing a band that maybe you're not as familiar, but you don't know like everything about them. I read his book and I just was like, had so many things that I wanted to say to him and talk to him about. And so Slash has been the coolest that I've ever met or interviewed.
Of course, John Ulette, the voice of the Cardinals.
Yes.
Huge icon in St. Louis. What's it like working with, we met him just a while ago. What's it like working with John?
John actually was the email taker that when I emailed here to get in the building, we know a mutual person. Okay. So John's actually, he's to blame for this person that you see. So if you would have told me in 2008 that, hey, you're going to be working with one of the most famous St. Louis celebrities, I would be like, you're full of it. And actually whenever I got the news that we were working together, because Rick Bayless, our boss, said he knew my intentions. I wanted to be on air someday. And then when we released Bob and Tom back into the water, we'll just say, they said, okay, we're going to throw you and U-Man on in the mornings. And I had a relationship with John just from working promotions with him and stuff. But I definitely am not a sports girl. And I'm definitely like younger than he is. And so I actually cried whenever I got the news. I was so happy, but I was so scared at the same time. I was like, we're not going to have anything to talk about. This is the end. And then just like that first week of working with him so intimately in here and getting to know him on a different level, it really is just so amazing. And it's the best. It's going to be the best experience I have in radio. And it's just, I mean, he's been at KSHE for 36 years, going on 37.
Really? Wow.
I mean, the station is 46 years old this year.
Yeah.
He's been here forever, and he's been with the Cardinals like just under 30 years.
So pre-show rituals. Before you go on the air, do you have anything you do?
I
do you have
do.
a beverage, coffee? Do you do push-ups? Do you
I am a
squat
coffee
thrust?
addict. I love coffee. I make my own coffee. I actually buy Caldi's coffee. My favorite blend is Natural High. It's a medium roast.
You write that down.
It's so good, and they know it.
Natural High. All right.
Natural High. I'm like, I gotta buy it.
Yeah.
And I get up at 4 a.m. I make coffee. It's done. It's ready by 4:30. I have to shower every day. People are always like, work on the radio, you can come in sweatpants, and most people do. No, I have to like look very nice, or else I will fall asleep down there on that floor over there. So I have to showers, coffee. I listen to a lot of comedians while I'm like putting my makeup on and stuff. I listen to like Patton Oswalt, Louis C.K., Bill Burr, mainly to put me in a good
No
mood.
Howard in there?
I have
bit?
some Howard Stern.
Do you?
Yeah,
All right.
I usually watch Howard Stern to get interviewing tips. Honestly, if you go to KSHE-95.com/learn without the A, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email, phone number, not my like personal phone number, but the station's phone number, it's all on there.
Yeah.
And that's where people hit me up. I always respond if I am around. So
Awesome. Well, let's learn KSHE-95 DJ. Thank you so much for letting us.
Thank you.
letting us
You're so
interview you.
awesome. I'm so happy to meet you.
Good to meet you, definitely.
I was watching a couple episodes of your podcast. You do really great things.
Appreciate it.
So
Appreciate
keep on doing it.
Let's do it together. Thank you.
Yes,
All
let's
right.
do it. All right. Bye.
And I just like throw like tons of sugar cubes in a coffee cup, and she'd pour me coffee because it's the 80s and 90s, and she doesn't, who gives a so. This is before the internet told you that everything you do to your kids is gonna kill them early. So, hang on for a second. Two guys sucking on the same joint
it's more of a
is socially
drug
acceptable.
addict type thing than a sexual thing.
Alright,
I never once thought of it as a way, because, I don't know too many hot chicks that are standing around smoking with me, so.
well, dude, you need to get out more. I know plenty of them. If I ask you to wear spandex pants to this event, and if you do that, I'll give you the tickets. Will you do it?
I probably would.
All right. Well, you're going to the show.
Alright.
You don't have to really wear the pants. Nobody wants to see that.
Check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2.
Check 1. You're good on this end.
I'm Darryn Yates.
Yes.
I have glasses on. And instead of hair, I like ink on my head, and I kind of look like Bono with my glasses.
Really?
In a better way. That was like the best interview
Cool.
ever.
That was fun. You rock.
You rock.
No.